of 9/11, what's happening? The two policemen who were assigned to protect the compound are across the street taking photographs of the inside of the compound. This greatly disturbs Ambassador Stevens, to which he whipped off a quick message to the Minister of Defense complaining, as well he should. Sean Smith later tweets, and then the essence of the message was, if we get out of tonight alive, we'll be lucky. That kind of gives you the sense, hey, did they know something was going to happen? Now let me tell you, I told you there was both strategic and tactical warning. You've heard about the strategic warning. Now I'm going to tell you about the tactical warning. We had 7 to 10 days advance notice of an attack going to be carried out on a U.S. facility in Benghazi. I first got this from our GRS guys at the Annex, Tonto and Teague, and the other guys that wrote 13 hours. And not satisfied with that, I went to Mike Flynn, Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, who was the director of DIA since, I guess, June of 2012. He confirmed to me, yes, they had 7 to 10 days advance notice that an attack was going to occur. And you might ask, quite properly, well, what do we do about it? I have to tell you, as an operational commander, if I got that type of notice, I would be repositioning forces. As a commander, you never want to be caught unaware or off guard.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, in those situations, I'm prepared to preempt. And that's always been my motto. So you might say, well, what happened? Well, I'm sorry to report, nothing. The Med was devoid of all naval forces. We had one destroyer at Suda Bay and another destroyer at Rota. We had a 130-man Marine Force recon team at Sigonella. And as Michael has told me, we also had a 16-man Delta Force at Sigonella. You're an hour away from Benghazi.
Yep.
You say, well, they didn't have their aircraft. Let me tell you, when you hear the guns going off, you go to it.
Yep.
You go with what you have. It's a war coming as you are. Well, that didn't happen. Now, we also had F-16 aircraft at Aviano. And of course, our illustrious chairman, when queried why they weren't used, he said, oh, well, it would have taken 15 hours to get there. I mean, this is hogwash. I cleaned it up a little bit. I'd have fired the commander on the spot. I talked to Lieutenant General Tom McInerney, who was the vice commander of USAFE. In his view, he would have had a detachment of F-16s there in 2 to 2.5 hours.
That's right.
You already have the 20 Mike loaded in the belly of the aircraft
right.
for stability.
The term 20 Mike refers to the M61A1 Vulcan Gatling gun system that is the standard gun system aboard the F-16. Its 6 gun barrels rotate to fire 3-inch long bullets at 100 rounds per second. Besides the devastating firepower, if you are in the crosshairs of a 20 Mike, it makes a frightening buzzing sound that you will never forget. The cannon is always loaded with 511 rounds in its ammunition drum. Since the drum is located well in front of the wings, having that drum empty would significantly change the takeoff characteristics. Hence, it is always filled and ready to go.
You needed nothing else. All you had to do was make a low pass over that compound and those beep beep would have scattered. Now, I'm sure during the dinner, Stevens and the Turkish consul general talked about the flow of arms from Libya to the rebels in Syria. After all, Benghazi was the main focal point, and that's just one of the tasks that I believe was assigned to Ambassador Stevens, along with trying to collect as many loose man-pads as possible.
A man-pad is a small but deadly shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missile, a very dangerous weapon in the hands of terrorists.
So at about 21:42, the attack starts. Tonto and the rest of his team grab their equipment, their weapons, their vests, everything, jump in their cars, and are ready to go to the compound.
He's talking about the rescue team at the nearby CIA annex. Inexplicably, the CIA station chief, who has never been named, had been given orders to tell the team to stand down. In other words, to not go to rescue the ambassador at the embassy.
They're receiving the urgent calls from the people in the compound. We're under attack. And you know, the pucker string gets a little tight when you got stuff whizzing by you. However, the chief of the base said, no, however you want to slice it, it was a standout. He said, we're going to let the 17 February Martyrs Brigade handle it. And of course, they had a similar incident earlier, about a week before. And again, that chief of the base said, we're going to let 17 February. They never showed up. So what in hell did he think they were going to show up now? It never happened. Tonto and the guys pleaded with him 3 times, and he would not let them go. Finally, as true warriors, they gave him the salute and went. They were able to rescue 27 people in that compound. Had they not showed up, there would have been more slaughter. You know, the guards that we had were unarmed. The 17th February Martyrs Brigade. And yeah, I got to tell you, when I heard the 17th February Martyrs Brigade were the security force to that compound, I said, this is like giving Willie Sutton the keys to the bank vault. You can't make this stuff up. And how they got this sole source contract, that's another story, and I'll let Stephanie cover that. Well, lo and behold, they did fight their way in. They found Ambassador Stevens' personal security guards hiding in a closet in that company with no weapons. Where were your weapons? Well, Another little thing. They received the message, I'm told, from Secretary of State that said, you're to store your weapons in a separate room. Remove your vest and helmet. Now, I got to tell you, in that area of the world, you don't go to the head without your weapon.
That's right.
Either one of them. This was reported by the UK Guardian newspaper. I've never seen any denial. I gave this to the Gowdy Committee too. They didn't have an answer, at least not the people I talked to. So, I don't want to hog too much time here. We want to have questions and answers, but I've got to tell you, this never had to happen.
Right.
This was a tragedy. And I can only sympathize with the families of the victims. We let them down. I never want to be part of an operation that let our Americans down. We cannot let that happen. And God bless America.
Amen.